Welcome back, Outlander fans! The wait is over, and the stakes have never been higher. As we step into Outlander Season 8, prepare to have your loyalties tested, your expectations overturned, and your heart shattered into pieces. The final chapter of this beloved saga promises to be the most gripping and emotionally charged season yet. This season, explosive new characters arrive on the scene, bringing with them secrets, agendas, and ambitions that will upend everything you thought you knew about life at Fraser's Ridge. These strangers are not just passing through, they are here to challenge the status quo, disrupt fragile alliances, and ignite conflicts that could destroy everything the Frasers have fought so hard to build. As the bonds between characters are pushed to their breaking points, dangerous truths will come to light. Lifelong friendships may crumble, and love will be tested like never before. The lines between right and wrong will blur as survival demands hard choices, and not everyone will make it out unscathed. Through the sweeping backdrop of revolution, displacement, and the relentless march of time, our favorite time-traveling couple, Claire and Jamie, face their greatest challenges yet. With past and future colliding, and betrayal simmering just beneath the surface, their love story is set to take an unpredictable turn. Get ready for shocking twists, game-changing revelations, and a finale that will echo through time. Outlander Season 8 isn't just a continuation, it's a reckoning. Are you prepared for the heartbreak, the triumph, and the unforgettable end to this epic journey? The arrival of enigmatic outsiders in Outlander Season 8 ignites a seismic reckoning, unraveling the fragile tapestry of trust, loyalty, and love that binds Jamie, Claire, and their community. As these formidable new characters infiltrate Fraser's Ridge-bearing secrets, rivalries, and agendas that clash with the Frasers' hard-won peace, they become both mirrors and disruptors, exposing buried fractures in old alliances and forcing impossible choices between survival and principle. With time itself as a battlefield, Season 8 questions whether legacy can withstand the chaos of change, or if some bonds, like history, are destined to shatter. For over a decade, Outlander has captivated audiences with its sweeping saga of love, war, and the unbreakable bond between Jamie and Claire Fraser. But as the epic series races toward its final chapter, a storm of new faces descends upon Fraser's Ridge, and nothing will ever be the same. These enigmatic arrivals, wielding secrets as sharp as claymores and ambitions as volatile as the Scottish Highlands, threaten to dismantle the fragile peace Jamie and Claire have fought so fiercely to protect. From shadowy figures with ties to the future, to fiery rivals clawing for power in the past, these characters don't just enter the story, they rewrite it. As alliances fracture, loyalties twist, and the very fabric of time trembles, Season 8 asks, can love survive when the world you've built begins to burn? Strap in for a season where every new face is a spark, and the Fraser legacy hangs in the flames. As Outlander Season 8 begins, Jamie and Claire Fraser face a precarious new reality in the aftermath of the American Revolution. Their hard-won sanctuary, Fraser's Ridge, is besieged by displaced loyalists, opportunistic settlers, and mysterious figures from the future, all converging on their land. The season's turmoil hinges on three disruptive newcomers, whose secrets and agendas threaten to dismantle the Fraser legacy. Captain Elias Hargrove, a ruthless British officer with a vendetta against Jamie, arrives under the pretense of peace negotiations. Unbeknownst to the Frasers, he's hunting Jamie for his role in a long-buried Jacobite massacre. Hargrove exposes Jamie's hidden wartime sins, turning the Ridge's residents against him. His manipulations force Jamie to confront his violent past and risk Claire's trust as he battles to protect his family. Meanwhile, Dr. Eleanor Nora McKinnon, a sharp-witted physician from the 20th century, emerges through the stones with a grudge against Claire. As the daughter of Frank Randall's Prot G, Nora blames Claire for her father's downfall and sabotages the Ridge's medical cabin, sparking a lethal smallpox outbreak. Her vendetta pushes Claire to the edge, forcing her to use forbidden modern antibiotics to save lives, risking exposure as a time traveler. Nora's cruelty escalates when she reveals a chilling prophecy. Roger's death is foretold in a future newspaper, shaking Claire to her core. Adding to the chaos, Cormac O'Donnell, a charismatic Irish settler, charms his way into the ridge, while secretly spying for a land speculator plotting to seize Fraser territory. His bond with Brianna and Roger exposes fractures in their marriage, especially when Cormac reveals Roger's secret communications with Season 7's villain, Rob Cameron. Brianna, drawn into Cormac's orbit, begins experimenting with time travel stabilization, unknowingly awakening a portal that endangers her children. The newcomer's schemes ignite a cascade of crises. Jaime's leadership crumbles as Hargrove exposes his wartime atrocities, dividing the ridge. Claire battles Nora's biological warfare and ethical blackmail, while Ian and Rachel face a devastating plague targeting their newborn, a plague tied to Nora's machinations. Desperate, Ian turns to a Mohawk ally who shares a prophecy of the ridge's annihilation. The season's most explosive twist reveals a clandestine group of 20th century time travelers, led by a figure linked to Gus Duncan, plotting to erase the American Revolution by assassinating key historical figures. Roger and Buck, stranded in the 1980s, uncover the conspiracy but are hunted, leading to a bloody confrontation at Cranut. In the past, Jaime and Claire discover Nora is part of this cabal, tasked with killing Claire to permanently alter history. The climax unfolds in a brutal three-part siege. Cormac's betrayal is laid bare when he helps Hargrove's men kidnap Jaime, demanding Brianna trade the time travel gemstone for his life. Claire, poisoned by Nora, nears death, compelling Jaime to bargain his surrender to Hargrove in exchange for the antidote. As the ridge burns under attack, young Ian and Rachel trigger explosives hidden since Season 7, causing a landslide that buries Hargrove's forces and half the settlement in a sacrificial gambit to fulfill the Mohawk prophecy. The finale leaves the Frasers in ruins. Roger and Buck return from the future with a dire warning: the timeline is collapsing. A montage reveals Jaime vanishing into the stones during the siege, Claire discovering a 1782 newspaper declaring Fraser's Ridge massacred no survivors, and an elderly Rob Cameron in the 1980s holding Jaime captive beside an active time portal. The season closes with Jaime and Claire standing in the ashes of their home, clutching Nora's journal, which points to a final truth. Captain Elias Hargrove, portrayed by Tobias Menzies, emerges as a formidable antagonist in Outlander Season 8. Driven by a deeply personal vendetta against Jaime Fraser, this decorated British officer's hatred stems from the brutal ambush Jaime led during the Jacobite Rising, which resulted in the death of his brother, Lieutenant Alistair Hargrove. Dozens of unarmed British soldiers. This long-buried massacre, a secret Jaime has kept from Claire, fuels Hargrove's mission to dismantle Fraser's Ridge and expose Jaime as a war criminal. Arriving in the colonies under the guise of post-revolution peace negotiations, Hargrove weaponizes charm and psychological manipulation to destabilize Jaime's leadership. He sows discord among the Ridge's residents by spreading rumors of Jaime's wartime atrocities, forging alliances with displaced loyalists, and recruiting survivors of the ambush to testify against him. Unlike Blackjack Randall's overt brutality, Hargrove's cruelty is cerebral and strategic, targeting Jaime's guilt and moral identity rather than his body. Hargrove's presence forces Jaime to confront the darker shades of his past, particularly the lie he's maintained about the ambush being a noble act of rebellion. Flashbacks reveal the attack as a vengeful, desperate strike that slaughtered surrendering soldiers, a truth that threatens Jaime's marriage when Hargrove insinuates to Claire that her husband's hypocrisy makes her complicit in his violence. Hargrove's campaign culminates in a public trial, accusing Jaime of treason, a move that fractures the Ridge's loyalty and pushes Claire to grapple with the moral cost of Jaime's secrets. His connection to Lord John Grey adds further complexity. The two served together during the 7 Years' War, and their strained camaraderie forces Lord John to choose between allegiance to Jaime or lingering respect for Hargrove's military intellect. Symbolically, Hargrove embodies the inescapability of past violence and the corrosive weight of unresolved guilt. He mirrors the season's exploration of colonial hypocrisy, posing as an agent of order while orchestrating chaos to serve his vendetta. His psychological warfare against Jaime, taunting him about the futility of redemption, challenges the series' long-held narrative of Jaime as a heroic figure, instead framing him as a man haunted by the bloodshed he once rationalized as survival. Hargrove's arc reaches its zenith in the explosive climax of the siege on Fraser's Ridge, where his long-brewing vendetta finally boils over into open warfare. Commanding a force fueled by fanaticism and betrayal, Hargrove launches a brutal assault that threatens to erase the Frasers from the land they built with their own blood and toil. As cabins burn and the settlers are pushed to their limits, Jaime and Claire stand at the heart of the chaos, outnumbered and outgunned yet defiant. In a final confrontation that crackles with decades of unspoken history and ideological war, Jaime duels Hargrove in the shadow of their once shared battlefield. But at the moment of triumph, Jaime chooses mercy over vengeance. He spares Hargrove's life, not out of weakness, but out of strength, forcing his enemy to witness his command unravel. His soldiers, shaken by Jaime's unwavering honor and the futility of their cause, begin to defect, leaving Hargrove alone and broken. Yet fate deals its own form of justice. In a cruel twist of irony, Hargrove meets his end not by blade, but by earth buried alive in a landslide triggered by young Ian during the chaos. The ridge itself turns against him, collapsing around his broken ideals and entombing him in the very soil he sought to conquer. His death becomes a grim metaphor, not just the literal burial of a man, but the symbolic interment of Jaime's darkest secrets and past sins, sealed in the rubble of what was once home. But Hargrove's legacy doesn't die with him. He was never just a villain, he was a mirror to Jaime's past, a manifestation of guilt, rage, and the unresolved consequences of war. His presence throughout the season served as a haunting reminder that legacy is not only built by what we do, but by what we fail to confront. As the smoke clears, and Jaime and Claire stand amidst the scorched remnants of Fraser's Ridge, their clasped hands are not just a gesture of love, they are a silent vow to endure, to rebuild, to never forget. With Hargrove buried beneath the shattered land, the Frasers are left with fragments of the truth and a future shrouded in uncertainty. Nora's journal, clutched tightly in Claire's hands, offers both insight and enigma. Her writings, laced with coded references and cryptic maps, point toward a hidden sanctuary nestled somewhere deep within the Rocky Mountains. It is a whisper of safety, a sliver of salvation, but not without cost. Claire's discovery of a yellowed newspaper headline from 1782, proclaiming the massacre of Fraser's Ridge and declaring no survivors, casts a long, cold shadow over their hopes. The message is clear: time itself is their greatest adversary. What has been written may still come to pass, unless they find a way to change it. The clock is ticking. Although Hargrove's vendetta perishes with him, the emotional scars he leaves on Jaime remain. The act of sparing Hargrove, only for fate to intervene with finality, becomes a bittersweet echo of mercy in a season steeped in blood and retribution. Jaime's heart, heavy with regret and weariness, carries the burden of every life lost and every choice made in the name of family and legacy. The aftermath of the trial that fractured the Ridge community leaves deep fissures, yet the embers of reconciliation begin to glow. Those who remain slowly start to rebuild, understanding now that survival sometimes requires choices that defy clear morality. In a world bent by war, those who endure must learn to live with the gray. Nora's arc concludes with tragic resonance. Poisoned by her own bioweapon in a final act of vengeance, she dies not as a villain, but as a wounded woman, consumed by envy. In her final moments, she confesses to Claire that her hatred stemmed not from ideology, but from something deeply personal, a jealousy of Claire's enduring love with Jaime and the legacy she shared with Frank. Nora's death brings an end to the smallpox outbreak threatening the colonies, but her final warning, a cryptic prophecy of Roger's imminent death, lingers like a specter over the Frasers. Though Nora's ties to the time travel cabal are severed, their war is far from over. A new antagonist rises, the enigmatic leader of the cabal, revealed to be a surviving disciple of Gus Duncan. Unlike Nora, he sees history not as something to preserve or avenge, but as a battlefield to control. With this revelation, the stage is set for a temporal war unlike anything the Frasers have faced. As the season finale unfolds, it becomes a masterful symphony of sacrifice, resilience, and rebirth. New characters receive poignant closure, while the enduring spirit of the Fraser family lights the path ahead. Jamie and young Ian's journey leads them to the hidden sanctuary in the Rockies, a secluded valley where time bends like the flow of a river and where the laws of the past no longer apply. There, they meet a community of time travelers, descendants of those who fled past centuries in search of refuge. Among them is a surprising ally, Mary, the estranged daughter of Gus Duncan. Having rejected her mother's radicalism, Mary dedicates her life to a new purpose, protecting history's integrity rather than distorting it. In Mary's words, Jamie finds unexpected solace. Redemption, she tells him, is not about forgetting the past, it's about forging a future that honors its lessons, no matter how painful. For the first time in years, Jamie sees a path forward not carved by war, but by hope. Meanwhile, in the 1980 IS, Claire, Brianna, and Fergus confront Rob Cameron at his hidden stronghold. With Nora's research in hand, Claire develops a volatile formula designed to collapse the time portal once and for all. But the cost is high. The formula demands a life for a life. In a moment of crushing heartbreak, Fergus steps forward. Haunted by years of grief and driven by an unpayable debt to Jamie and Claire, he volunteers to be the sacrifice. His final moments are quiet, tender. He shares a last look with his family before stepping into the collapsing portal. As it implodes, Fergus vanishes not in pain, but in peace. His last smile is a silent goodbye, a man finally free of his past. Jemmy is rescued, but the future remains uncertain. As the family gathers, they notice something strange. Mandy's hands now glow with an ethereal light, suggesting she may possess an innate sensitivity to time fractures, a gift, or perhaps a curse, that could change everything. And just when you think it's over, Rob Cameron's post-credits smirk reminds us that the true enemy isn't gone. He's just waiting. Did that season 8 finale break you too? Whether you're still mourning Fergus's heroic farewell, analyzing Mandy's strange new power, or cursing Rob Cameron's smug little grin, don't touch that standing stone just yet. We've got deep dive breakdowns coming your way. From unraveling Hargrove's Shakespearean villain arc to theory videos on the sanctuary's true purpose and who might still return, it's all happening here. Plus, Live Q and As, where you vote on which character we dissect next. Smash that bell so you never miss an update. This channel is your time portal to the Outlander universe. No gemstone required. Comment below, what do you think Jamie and Claire's next chapter looks like? Can Mandy change the future? Could Fergus ever return? Until next time, keep your kilts spinning and your theories spinning faster. For more updates and exciting content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on Nextdoor. Stay tuned, there's so much more to come.